Hello and welcome to Changing Times again. We bring another episode of change with a new change of topic. So much that we can talk about change is often that we wonder that so many things are changing around us. And we had never imagined that we would come so far on just change. But yet we have, and we have seen that there's so many things that rapidly are moving around us. Some that we have no control over. Some we want to control but do not know how to. Sometimes it is just our own mind which we want to control and yet find difficulties with. Spirituality has offered help. It has guided mankind for centuries and it still does so today. Today we have Rajyogini Brahma Kumaris Sister Usha with us for our guidance. Didi, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Today we have seen technological changes happen at a rapid stage. We have also explored how much technology influences us, especially children, young beings. We often find it very difficult to cope with, and we had also said that we have a choice to make. As much as we talk about choices, let's also talk about the other aspects that the technology brings in. It's not just about children coming to age, they wanting to explore, but also the negativity that technology brings around it. Before I talk about technology, I have a very popular example. DDT was a very popular pesticide. And since the Green Revolution happened in India, where we were needed to increase the surplus of grains in the country, pesticides and fertilizers were used in loads and loads of quantities. And suddenly it was giving yields also. But now we have come to a point, after I think 40 years, we have come and dangerously seen the effects of the fertilizers and the chemical pesticides that we were using. DDT is banned today, but still in several parts of the country. In India, it is still being used. Because the harmful effects of what DDT did, or the chemical fertilizers and pesticides did, came in very late. And by the time we woke up, a lot of damage had happened. Damage happened to the earth's crust, the fertility of the soil. The amount of food that we were consuming was laid with poison. Health issues also came up with it. Children suffered, many deaths happened. But yes, we woke up.
People feel, we have to go towards organic. Everything should be organic. And that's why the prices of organic have risen.
As much as people want to consume organic, there are not many people who are producing organic. So there is a challenge, but we changed few things and there are still people who are trying to shift back to organic food. The same is often, I wonder, with technology. As quickly as we grabbed technology in our hands, we do not even have had time to think about its after effects or the effects that it would cause. Surprisingly, if you see, we all use cell phones today. As much as we must wonder that in the past decade, cell phone users have grown 25 times, and it is still growing. It is quite a common thing that people would say, if you keep your cell phone to your ear and if you talk for an hour, you would see that the temperature of the phone has risen and your ear is also become hot. The Supreme Court of India passed an order for one of the complaints which came in about the cell phone towers must be away from hospitals and schools. But still there is no research happening.
And still the people are not aware of these reports. What are the reports? So nobody takes action. Some people feel okay. And nowadays on buildings also, when these cell phone towers are being raised, and they ask the people of the building, the society, if you allow us to raise a tower here, then we can pay you this much of amount of money. And so in that greed, people think, okay, doesn't matter what is it going to happen, how much will the radiation have an effect, because no research studies are kept in front of people. That's why.
How much there is lobbying against the research, because if a research would come up and it would really show how much harm it has made already, then it would cause a lot of financial losses for the companies who are into cell phone business. Another interesting point that many environmentalists raised about cell phone technology was about the missing of certain livestock from the ecology. One of the popular things that has come to light is about the number of sparrows going down in cities because of radiations, and the number of honeybees going down drastically. Bees going down drastically. And there was also a very popular film which also won a very international award about how much honeybees contributed to the pollination process, to the crops being grown in the right amount. And now, since honeybees are going down in such large numbers, what would happen if these radiations would go to rural levels? We are consuming these things. We have become consumers and users to it without knowing how and where and what is happening around it.
Maybe in the future times, just as today we have the statutory warning on the cigarette packet, the cigarette is injurious to health, but still people are taking it because they are addicted. Similarly, a day will come when all the cell phones will have this statutory warning that it is injurious to health.
Only use in moderation.
But still, when people are addicted to it, it's going to be difficult. Just as in India, when we saw that one of the companies gave out SIM cards free and 4G free and all the internet free and high-speed internet free and all this free, they made people addicted. So now even if they are going to charge, nothing is going to happen because they made people addicted for 6 months. So now even small children who have been used to using that high-speed internet, they are demanding and they hardly realize what will be the pros and cons with their health problems afterwards. We find that small children getting addicted to Candy Crush.
Yeah, games, cell phone games, yeah.
The whole day, whenever they get time, I want to play Candy Crush. Small children also, and they are so smart in playing those Candy Crush, they cross all the levels, and their parents also feel, okay, he's busy, he's not disturbing us, but they don't realize how much radiation child is getting and how much it is affecting his health.
Today we're so technologically dependent on some things. Somewhere this dependence makes us slave to it.
Yes.
And that is when we move on to addiction. Science is a good slave and a bad master.
Yes.
And I think today that applies to technology also.
Yes.
And today we are becoming slaves to these technologies. You talked about addiction to it. Addiction to games, not just cell phone games or computer games. So much so that the people would play hours together, not blinking their eyes off, people looking at screens, big or small, whichever. Since I am seeing the screen, the light goes into my eyes, I do not blink as much. I stay in an air-conditioned environment. There's no natural air, no natural ventilation. So ophthalmologists have suggested that now you wear special specs for using computers. When this has happened, on the other hand, there is something else that has also changed. It's about virtual viewing glasses. It's like a spec. It's like a small specs that you would wear, but it has a small screen inside.
Yeah.
And you can watch games with it is called virtual reality, that it will give you a feeling as if you're really there. You can watch a movie which you would really feel like it is a 4D movie. These are the technological advancements that have come. No matter, it gives us fun, it gives us a sense of joy, it gives us a sense of thrill. But what would the overuse of that do to us?
Definitely it is going to harm the brain, especially directly, because it is connected there. And people are making world records on how much you talk on cell phone. And I read somewhere that person has made a world record that he talked throughout the night. And he started the phone in the mid-afternoon, and throughout the night and the next day morning, 10 o'clock, he
hang up the phone.
And then he realized there was some tumors because of that constant. He made a world record, definitely. So that was something. But he talking to that friend for so long hours, and the radiation, because definitely the battery wouldn't have gone that much long, or maybe he was using the charger also together with it to talk all these hours. But there are, I would say, some people are psychic who go on to making world records in such a way. But because they do not have something creative to do or creative to think about, maybe that's why they don't have something productive to think about, and they just waste their time, energy in making such silly records.
What I mean to say when these things happen is we have gone to an extreme in terms of what we are doing with the technology.
Yeah.
It has given us the comfort of use, but overuse would certainly harm us. But since gardens have disappeared, parks are no longer there because the urbanization has gone so much, and we know this ultimately. Inside we know this innately. That is the nature of the human being, I think. Whenever we feel tired, whenever we feel that this is too much, we are too stressed, the only escape that we want is to a place which is green, natural, a hill station or a beach or a seaside.
Yeah.
We don't want to go to another city for a vacation.
Yeah. Because there also this harmful effects are there.
Yeah. When we look at children today, I somehow feel that they are not having as much fun as I had in my childhood.
Yeah, definitely.
Half the time we were out. From the school we come back, we are there playing on the ground. We would climb trees, pick fruits from the trees we would eat, and sometimes I was surprised. One of my brother's son told me, he's 5 years old, and he was having a guava, and he says, "Chachu, this is guava. How is the guava tree?" And I was startled. I said that this kid has not seen a guava tree, and I remember that guava was a fruit that we never had to buy from the market.
Yeah, we always used to climb
The tree, pluck it up and eat. That is how it was. And that is a change, because children today, if they have to play, they play indoors. What are they playing with? They're playing with the computers, they're playing with cell phones. And if they have to play with themselves, it's a great mystery to unfold.
Yeah.
And like you rightly said, that most parents are happy that, okay, yes, he's busy doing something. Let's not bother him.
Yeah.
And that is the level that we have come up to. If it is a 12-hour journey, people would load their cell phones with movies and serials, TV series, so that we can pass our time.
Yeah.
Earlier, passing time was talking to another person, sharing and caring.
And
So this addiction and the loss of our social interaction, what is your views on that?
Well, I would say that addiction is nowhere good, whether it was with tobacco or cigarette or alcohol. Then also it was not good, and that is why people were rehabilitated so that they come out of that addiction. Similarly, I think now they have started rehabilitation houses for screen addiction also, and so that they don't get cell phones in their hand for some days together, so that they are able to enjoy the natural nature and relationships with their people. There are rehabilitation centers now being opened for such de-addiction of the screen. But I feel that sometimes I feel pity for those souls, that how they got into this. But again, they're afraid that after coming back from this rehabilitation center, maybe we would again want to have that phone in our hand, and again we'll get addicted. So there is a fear again. But that does not mean that throughout their lives they're going to be there. Now, this is where spirituality helps us, I would say. Why? Because spirituality gives us the strength to control ourselves, to discipline our sense organs. I can use my phone because I am the master. Let me use the phone whenever I want to contact people. But there's no need for me to go into it. So that is the controlling power, or that is the strength I receive through meditation, so through spiritual wisdom, that enables me to become the master of this gadget also. Otherwise, these gadgets are going to make us slaves and are going to make our lives horrible. And secondly, the laws of social interaction. We find that people are losing that love and respect for one another, and when the values are not there in social interaction, definitely we are isolating ourselves completely. Maybe we are connected through WhatsApp and through Facebook or to people in the world, but in that, those who are close to us, we are depriving them with some or the other feelings. Definitely it is harming our relationship, because the whole time we are not going to be connected with the people out in the world. Most of the time we are staying at home, or we are connected with our family members, but we are depriving them of our company there, of that human touch which is needed at home. And some small things only, if we ask our family members, how are you feeling today, how was your day today, maybe that can help somebody so much that they feel that yes, this person cares for me, this person has some interest in me. Nowadays this is the complaint, that children also complain, parents have no interest in what we are doing. Wives also have this complaint, my husband does not have any interest in me. So this is how people are moving away from one another, and that is how misunderstandings are being created and families are breaking up.
So here we stand today at a brink where our social structure can fall down,
Yeah.
the family structure can fall down, relationship between friends can fall down. And I think today we have to make those changes. Sometimes we sit with our friends and my friend is busy on his phone and I'm busy on my phone. Doesn't give time for each other, even though we are friends sitting next to each other.
Yeah, and this is where spirituality actually helps us to bring in those values and to bring in that understanding and to gain that strength to have self-control.
Self-control, and at the same time giving time and space for the other person also. That interaction is important. Thank you very much for sharing that wisdom, Didi.
Thank you. My pleasure.
As much as we see today that we live in a modern age, and it has its own pros and cons, it has its own benefits and banes and boons, but let's not be slaves to technology. Let us be the masters. Let us have that spiritual control over the self, about what we want to do, how much we want to do, when we want to do. We have the power to bring about that change. We have the power to resurrect and to restructure what that has been lost. Wishing you all luck on this episode of Change, for the changes to make. Thank you very much. We'll see you again in the next episode. Till then, take care.